Yeah, with that, let me get everything set up and I'm going to paste the link to our in-world meetup. And I believe Tangpoko's in the house. If you want to unmute yourself, we can all jump into her dollhouse parcel here. I'm going to jump in right now as well. And then we'll get started. Then I'll show her screen. So I just pasted the link in our town hall chat, and also it's in our Discord general channel as well. Oh, cool. I'm already dancing away in there. Here, I'm going to screen share, and hopefully you're able to talk now.
Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Woohoo! So excited. Here, I'm going to...
Hello.
I don't know if you want to screen share, or do you want me to screen share? What would be easier for you?
I think you can screen share.
Okay, cool. I'll do that.
Oh, wow, the dollhouse is full.
Yeah, everyone's there bouncing, having fun. Look at this.
I see you. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to give you a little tour of the dollhouse, and actually deployed a couple of other builds that I did over the last year. So maybe we can even jump around a little bit.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yeah, and I was hoping, especially for the people who are, we post this up on our YouTube, maybe you can give a little introduction about the space and yourself and how you got into Decentraland before we dive in and get a tour from you.
Sure. I think a lot of the people here already know me, but I'll be happy to kind of talk about how I got in the space. I came in, I think it was around May of 2021. And around that time, I had just discovered NFTs, and I was looking for a place where I could possibly display and maybe even sell an architectural NFT. That brought me to looking for virtual worlds. And I was looking at that time, Crypto Voxels, Somnium Space, and Decentraland. The reason I came to Decentraland was because I found it on Reddit. And the builder, Economist, was... I think he had deployed an architectural NFT at that time. It was like a cute little Japanese, it was a Japanese chess playing place, I want to say. It was a cute little Japanese hut. I loved it. I reached out to him, and he was so friendly and so welcoming and warm. And really, that's something that is special, and I think unique to Decentraland, is just there's not just a warmth and a readiness to help. I mean, people are really invested in onboarding, and that it makes it so welcoming for people to come here. And he was just the same back then as well. He got me set up with a wallet, and he ended up actually renting a patch of land to me. So that's how I came here. And, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but really, Decentraland has changed a lot. There was not a whole lot to do, and there was not a whole lot of people that I could find. And I kind of wandered around a long time by myself until I discovered kind of the casino crew. And then I met great people like Sinful and Father Finn, and started to, kind of find myself and figure out what I wanted to do here. Part of what I wanted to do was make some wearables. So made a few outfits. One in particular was a pink one that we called the baby doll. And from there, we started hanging out as a group and called ourselves the Baby Dolls, and then we made the Dollhouse, and here we are. Here we are now.
Yeah, I figured, I'm like, everyone here, we're all fans, but I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And it's so great to see such a full house of people rocking it out. Yeah, I was there yesterday for your event. It's always packed in here. It's wonderful to see. Yeah, and I wanna just show us around, and I would love also to maybe a little background on how the crew behind building your spot, and you're saying you deployed a couple new things. I would love to have you talk about that. It'd be wonderful.
Yeah, okay. I mean, actually, I deployed the first building, that first architectural NFT that I was talking about a few minutes ago at -60 and 125. If you guys want to see that, that'll be kind of a cool place to start it off.
Cool.
And we'll play some music and...
Woohoo! -60, 125.
I put the wrong coords in. Don't click that one, guys.
Oh, okay. You have one for us. I'll follow the one you sent. That's even better.
I defaulted to -69. Okay, -60, 125. Let's jump. So I feel like we should play some music here and have a voiceover that says, the story begins here.
Totally. Do you want to paste the link in here so everyone goes, make sure that everybody's on the right realm still and doesn't...
For sure.
Thank you so much. Woohoo. Okay, let me close mine. Let me see. Yeah, there needs to be some fun cutscenes when everyone's like traveling, within Decentraland to some other parcel, and some funny, like, weird Easter eggs that you could fall into. That would be so fun. Like,
Yes.
you didn't end up where you're
Yes, yes,
supposed to, and you're here. It's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and you're just like hanging out with your towel somewhere, like all alone. Like, how the hell
I love that.
did I end up here? Okay, I'm in the right place or no?
I don't know. Are you?
I think so.
There's like a
Negative
little tiny.
60.
I see it.
Oh, there you are.
I got negative
Yay.
60 and 125.
I see you.
Yeah.
Woo.
Okay, so it was just a little one parcel build that we did in an architectural style called brutalism,
Cool.
which is kind of like big slabs of concrete. And one of the things that I love about Decentraland is that you can do a lot of stuff here that you really can't do. And virtual worlds, I should say, not specifically Decentraland, that you don't have to really follow the rules of physics. You can make things that would never be able to stand up.
Definitely.
Except in a virtual world. Yeah. And another thing was that I really wanted to be able to show my own personal artwork as well, which is on the walls here. And of course, my NFT collection is downstairs as well.
Oh,
and there's even a picture of, I think, Sinful's 99-cent NFT is still hanging here. And maybe even one of his rare shoes is hanging inside this building. It's been a long time.
That's awesome. So in terms of
like, really, I haven't been here in a long time. It's really bringing back memories. It's kind of nice.
Oh, love it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it was just a quick question. Like, so are you working with a team? Are you designing it yourself, or how do you
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been lucky enough in my life to work with a lot of 3D modelers and 3D programmers. So when it was time for us to start thinking about this, it was pretty easy to get like-minded teams together. And the modeler in particular who helped me design this is just this really experienced architect who comes from the game industry.
Oh, nice.
So, and that's kind of an interesting thing to talk about as well, is that because he's had so much experience in the game industry, he remembers the times back before in the first kind of consoles that came out where you really didn't have a whole lot of space. So you needed to optimize. Mm-hmm. So I think that these kind of really more experienced older gamers who have been kind of feeling like they've aged out of the industry really have a chance to kind of reignite their careers by coming into places, virtual worlds where optimization and efficiency of building is so key. You know, they just have like tricks up their sleeve from back in like the N64 days that the kids these days, they're spoiled, right? With so many triangles. But if you can make it look this good in under 10,000 tries, I mean, come on, that's like godlike powers, I think.
Oh, totally. So, and like optimization, and one of my friends, Boombox, said he's all optimization is a lifestyle, right? It totally is like an amazing thing that people within here, and also I think having those limitations is really like a doorway to creativity too.
I've always said the same thing too. That's when I think real creativity comes, is when you have restrictions that you need to work within. And is the same with money restrictions, like budgetary restrictions, yes, or polygonal restrictions, or whatever it is. You know, that's where creativity comes, when you need to push past boundaries.
Totally. Love it.
So yeah, I'm super proud of this building. And we actually ended up selling a couple. And I wish I could find the owners of those original buildings. I stumbled across one once and then forgot the coordinates and never saw it again. I just, it was so long ago. It might even be people that I know today that don't realize that I was the one who sold them this NFT. I love the way Peanut looks on the very top of the building right now. Peanut Butter is right? He's like a hood ornament. Peanut Butter always makes a build look better. Oh, thank you for posing, Peanut.
I always see that wherever he is somewhere cool, and I'm like, "Where's Peanut Butter? I need to find how he got up there."
He is. He's the cherry on top of all the builds in Decentraland. So from here, and we can go back to -100 now, which is next to Dollhouse. From here, somebody saw one of these builds, and don't click that. I messed up the link again. I'm kind of nervous.
Oh, you're awesome. I remember when I was a couple times, I think maybe once or twice on the Sandstorm contest thing. You were on there. It was
Yes.
so much fun. You're excellent. It's so great to always
No,
have
you're
no,
excellent.
what you have, I mean, and especially with like, I mean, I guess we can dive in when we head over there. All your amazing events and experiences, especially since Metaverse Fashion Week is so fresh and just happened. Would love to hear some stories about that. I'm sure you've been talking up a storm about it. I think you were just on the Decentraland Foundation Twitter Spaces as well, right?
Yeah, that's right, too, with all the baby dolls, which is really cool. We don't get too many chances to speak as a group together, so that was really an exciting thing, and I hope that more people will invite us as a group onto different panels. So we're at the Dollhouse, but I actually wanted to bring you over to Drip Society next door.
Okay, here, let me get the link.
Over here, guys.
Where's the
Over
link
here,
to
guys.
other-
I mean, it's like literally next.
I'm running slow.
It's literally next door.
Okay, cool. There we go.
So the person who wanted me to build Drip Society is Banquet, and they had saw the little Magna building that I just took you to, and they said, "Oh, can you do the same thing, but can you do it as a sneaker museum on this patch of land?" So that is what we did here. We tried to make the Metaverse's first NFT sneaker museum. A sneaker DAO, in fact, was the main idea, and this is cool. I think we did this in November of 2021. And had a couple of parties here. I mean, I really love this build. It's very similar in style to the one we did earlier. I love how open it is. I love the open rectangular space that you can jump up and down from floor to floor. I love the concrete. I think this is one of my favorite buildings. I could go on about how much I love this building.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to load up. It's being a little.
Is it not loading?
It's a little picky for me right now, which is always the minute you have to show something. It's like everything's been working beautifully, right? And then
until you're in front of everybody.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Murphy's Law is like my sidekick. You know, he's just like cool. Okay, so I gotta.
You got in?
Yeah. Okay, I'm actually still baby. So you're saying it's the parcel next to Dollhouse, right? Or which way do I go?
That's right. Take a look at the map and you'll see like a bunch of people kind of congregating over. It's east, directly east.
Okay.
Hey, Morph.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
See you.
There we go. I know it's taking a while to load it, and I think, so it's that one right there?
I see you, Fractalians. I'm jumping up and down. I see you.
That's how we get
You're like a little... You're so neon. We can see you from so far away.
I know.
Okay, so here it is.
Okay, beautiful.
You can see a lot of the same kind of style and look that I'm going to watch your stream too, just to make sure that you're good.
Okay, I'm going to open up my screen is kind of a little small. There we go. Okay. The aspect ratio, I always forget. You have to like play around with it so you can actually, there we go. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll follow you.
Follow me. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, this is Drip Society. We made it in a very similar style as we did the first one, but just kind of bigger and better. And it was supposed to be the first sneaker DAO in Decentraland and maybe even the Metaverse. You can see on the wall here, we've done some stuff with the artist Burton Morris over Art Week of last year. He's like one of the main artists of pop art. You know, you have like Andy Warhol, you have Lichtenstein, you know, those were his inspirations and in some cases his contemporaries. And he really defined pop art as we know it today, in my opinion, especially really commercialized pop art, where you see he was one of the artists on the old show Friends. And he's just done so much that when I look at his website, I recognize so many of these things. I'm just a huge Burton Morris fan. So we were really excited to be able to work with him and bring him into Art Week. We'd work with Dapcraft to do some of these puffer jackets, which is very similar to the the Apollo jackets, but they are so nice, aren't they? I don't have one myself, but I kind of want one. I kind of want this one.
I've been wanting one of these forever. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize like exactly the story behind these. That's so cool that and like, oh yeah, they're all beautiful.
You know, and Burton has come into the space a couple of times, and he's actually been on Beyond the NFT with Sinful, and he's got so many great stories and really feels a kindredness with the metaverse. He's one of those artists that just like tells you to take his work and build off it. You know, he's all about collaboration. For an old guy who's not Web3, I think he's really got that spirit of Web3 in him.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, for many years I taught like silk screening and recycled fashion, and it's all about like, getting inspired by each other, and like you kind of take an idea, make it your own, and like mix and match, especially when you can make your own fabric. So yeah, I come from like that background of like everyone just like, working together. It's like, oh, that's a cool pattern. Can I grab your screen? You make your own thing. So I love that aspect of a lot of the culture here in Decentraland.
That's super cool that you can find the string that ties between something that's kind of so physical and working with your hands to something that's so virtual.
Yeah, I used to have a studio. I miss having my studio. It's so much fun. Cool. I will follow you up the stairs. Let's see where she's.
I mean, there's not much else going on here, to be honest. We haven't done a show here in a long time, but I was just talking to Prager Matus, who is some of the bigger investors in Banquet this morning, and they were also talking about, hey, why don't we do a show at Trip Society soon? So we may be starting something up here soon, which is super exciting.
Wicked. Yeah, always keep us posted. So we can tell everybody. I know I need to start like a better listing of all the amazing events happening with all the grantees. Every week there's so much happening. Look at Peanut Butter with his. He always has the coolest outfits. I love that jacket. Half jacket,
I know, and that knurl hair is so nice too. Yeah, I actually was thinking too that, I mean, I love that we have the events page at Decentraland. Hit X and you see the events. But I also think that there's a lot of room for other websites and other sources for events as well. Just like there's not one marketplace in the world, there's lots of marketplaces in the world. I would like to see, more sources for our events.
Yeah, and I was seeing
and ways that we can kind of curate that as well, right? Sometimes I'll look at the events page and there's like 50 events, but there's only like 5 I want to go to. I'd love to be able to curate that in some way.
Yeah, they just started earlier today in AMAs. They were discussing, they're working on their favorites tab. So you can be able to favorite events at least and have a favorites section where you can go to. And it's, in a sense, it's the beginning of that, what you're saying. So that's pretty interesting. And also another thing I saw that you were posting about, which is kind of along the lines of what you're saying, is I love like that you guys did the spatial cross metaverse event, and collaborations like that are what I've been so into for the last couple of years. And maybe talk a little bit about that. I think do you guys have a parcel there, or did you collab with somebody? They let you, like, how did that take place?
Well, I think you're talking about International Dollhouse, which is something that we did. Let's kind of stroll back over to Dollhouse actually while we talk about this. This is something that we did first last March in Dollhouse when we were really just brand new. We worked with a company called Babes Only in Chicago, and this is like a female-run art and music collective. It was their idea to do something in the metaverse, and that was really successful. This year, we wanted to do something even bigger, and that's why we went cross-metaverse. I had just the month before done our smaller series called Vertex there. And in that case, we worked with Hi Cece. She was in her company, CJ Meta Events. They had a build that they let us use. We could have used that one again, but for some reason, I can't even remember how it happened. I started talking to Exclusable, and I don't know if you know who they are, but they do these really, really high-end luxury builds inside spatial. I mean, everybody's seen, I think the Dubai penthouse is really quite popular over there. Being able to reach out with them and talking to them about the fact that it was International Women's Month, and we really wanted to work together to do something to promote that. They were so open about letting me use 4 of their different builds to host this show in spatial, and then we would cross back and forth between Decentraland. One of them was just this awesome sort of surreal mansion with like flying whales and jet skis. And I mean, it was just so nice. Sometimes I just go there and hang out there just for myself. As a ski chalet, the Dubai penthouse I mentioned earlier, I think that was in maybe Paris or in Athens, the one that we used. And oh God, what was the last one? I'm totally blanking out now. It'll come to me. But they were awesome to work with. It's not easy, I think, when you're working with. We had 8 DJs and 4 artists, and we partnered with Mixcloud, which is like sort of the SoundCloud of Europe. You know, we had a lot going on every week, and also because everybody had volunteered their time, we had to do like a lot of promo and a lot of exposure, which is something, of course, you want to do with all your partners. So it was kind of a big thing that was going on. Probably not the best thing to do while I'm also doing Fashion Week. It was a tough month, but it was super successful, and I loved it. And we had DJs from Ibiza, from Costa Rica, from America. We even had a DJ from Kenya, which I thought was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was a really good experience. I'm still kind of coming down off it.
I can imagine. No, that sounds wonderful. I know I've been like reading up all the things you do, your updates. There's so much in there that like it's just so fun to follow. And sometimes, it's hard to like keep up with all the things happening, like you were saying in Decentraland. And it's always great to come together and get to hear like, the personal story and the work behind all these events. Because a lot of times people don't necessarily realize how much work goes into a simple event, right? Just coordinating all the people,
I think
right?
so. It is, but you want people to feel like it's easy and fun,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
oh,
That's
this was just something we threw together at the last minute, and didn't really realize that it was such a grind for weeks to put it on. But I couldn't do it without all the baby dolls with Gucci, who is just, especially with International Dollhouse. I could definitely not have done it without Gucci. He's been helping me as an event coordinator and just as my friend as well. He's just so great at everything he does. So yeah, I want to put a big shout out to Gucci for that, and also all the dolls for helping with the vast amounts of promotion that needed to be done last month.
Oh, what happened? Oh, there we are. No, I was going to ask about that because I think with your recent grant, it said that you were able to hire an assistant event coordinator or a community manager. Is that who Gucci is, or he's separate from that?
That's definitely who Gucci is.
Awesome.
As it went on, we haven't hired a community manager yet. I don't think that we need that as much. We have Blease that's kind of helping us with a little content creation. And that's another thing too, is that all these events that go on, I really think it's important to, even if you can, like, have a dedicated person to film this stuff, make videos, make content about it, because once the event is over, it kind of floats away. But really what we want to do is get the mainstream seeing that cool stuff is happening in Decentraland. So we need to kind of have like an archives of this. And if we can I'm using Neo to do my videography of almost all my big events, and I just think he's awesome. So he really makes these events look great. And we push it out there on social, push it out there on YouTube, on TikTok if we can, and just try and get the mainstream attention to come here. I know that the onboarding can be a lot of friction. So if we can show them that the rewards are great, if they can make it through, then that's good.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to
So
see. I
yeah,
mean, like in the comments of your grant and also just from people in general that I hear, it seems like your spot is such a almost like this little onboarding mecca for newbies, for everybody to come. They feel welcome. They feel like, oh, cool. Like kind of they get the vibe and they understand the culture of Decentraland. So it's really cool to see how this has become that hub.
I'm so proud of that, and thank you for saying that.
I had another. I have like a bunch of questions. I'm like, okay, let's see. You cross metaverse. Oh yeah, I'm curious about like, okay, when you're coming up with events and coordination and all this stuff. Obviously, just the Metaverse Fashion Week. Like, what is your kind of like brainstorm process when you're working with your team? You're with, let's say, Gucci or yourself, or like, what is your madness in that?
Oh, so many. I would love to say that we have like a whole roadmap planned out, and this is all stuff that we do because we've researched it so well. But the truth is that's not it at all. It's really just like conversations that we're having, like, oh man, I love these pants, these look like Y2K, hey, let's have a Y2K party. It happens really, really spontaneously and organically. For some of the bigger events like International Dollhouse and Gucci's series Vertex, we definitely do a lot more planning, and I'm starting to get better with that, putting together pitch decks and talking about concepts. But a lot of the time it's really just like some little meme or something we're discussing, and the next thing you know, we're crafting a party around it. We've got some really exciting ideas coming up for next month that we're going to put into place after Absolute.
Nice.
And lots of opportunities coming up. One of the big things we wanted to do this year was collab with a lot of other communities. We did it with Vroomway. We've done it with Knights of Antrim. I've got a couple more planned. I think it's really cool to bring kind of the WAGME party that we normally do. Like, for instance, for WAGME Vroomway, we went over there, we got some special wearables made, and just bring the communities together is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I missed that one, but I loved when people are, I'm seeing a lot more of that in Decentraland, like the collaboration with like, just even with one of the presentations, right? They were saying, oh, with Meta, was it Metagami Mall? Like they were saying they had special wearables, they do this stuff, and it's really a great way to bridge and like support each other and help each other grow. So I love,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if Metagami Mall is still in here, but I definitely want to talk to them.
yeah, they're awesome. I know. I'm thinking already. I'm like, ooh, they'd be fun to have in-world meetup too. So come back for that.
Yeah, for sure. I love what they're doing. Their place is so popular, and I even love the way that they describe themselves as well. I mean, just this mall where brands can come in and almost have this kind of turnkey, experiential, interactive game right away. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm curious, like in terms of like, let's say, for yeah, I always love to ask people is like for new people wanting to come in and wanting to do, like, start hosting an event, possibly do a grant. What are some of the tips that you learned on your own process for your grant that might be helpful to them?
Oh, I think definitely don't come in with getting a grant in mind right away. It's
Yeah, no, I
probably
agree.
not
I
the
totally agree.
not the way. I mean, come in, make friends, hang out, make a plan, serve others.
Yeah.
Try and figure out what kind of skills you have to serve others, and then once you're here and established for a while, then maybe think about getting a grant. I don't think that that should be your goal when you come here.
No, I agree. I'm always telling
I
people that too. It's like collaborate or like, reach out to communities, see how you can help and see, like you're saying, see where what your skills are, what you can contribute, how you can support. All that is a fun way to start and start instead of like, I want money. It's like, well, the community's gonna let you know. That's not the way, right?
Yeah,
Like,
or I have an idea and this is how it should be. I mean, I think you need to come in and respect the community and learn about it as well. And I say that as well to lots of the brands and kind of the external projects that I talk to when they say like, how can we come in? What kind of activation should we do? I always start with that. It's about accessing the community, and the best way to do that is to find out ways where you can serve and support the community.
yeah, no, I love that.
And in turn, they will support you.
Yeah, totally. I have a question. You've probably been asked this before, but like, I'm so curious. How do you pick your outfits? Because they're always so dope and they're always so
What?
cool. Do you like always have the coolest things on? I'm like, oh my god, where's that? Where'd you get that? Is it more like you collect stuff and then you just randomly, or do you like spend a lot of time, or what is your process for your outfits?
I mean, I do spend a lot of time in my backpack, but I think that that's kind of true of all of us.
Yes.
DCL culture is selfie culture. I was just talking to, gosh, I can't remember who it was, and I'm sorry if it was somebody in this room. I was just talking to somebody about VR chat, and they're like, "Oh,
Yes.
it's really cool there too." And I have gone a couple of times, and it has been cool, but I really hate that I can't see myself. I'm always in first person. You have to go and look in a mirror if you want to see yourself. And I don't want that because I'm constantly looking at my outfit, looking at other people's outfits to see if their clothes would look better on me. I love the new passport feature. It took me a while to get used to, but now I'm constantly clicking people to see what it is that they're wearing. I love seeing how people put their outfits together. The baby dolls and I talked about it yesterday, how people can be wearing the exact same thing and yet they all look so different
Yes.
because of their little tweaks and customizations that they do. I think that's so cool to see people's personalities come out. One of the best things
Yes.
about Decentraland is our wearables market. I really, really feel that that's what gives us a leg up above almost all the other metaverses right now, is that we have not just a wearables market, but it's not just full skins. We have lots of different layers. I can't wait to be more like, I think Roblox has different layered wearables, so I can wear a coat over
Yes.
my skin. I mean, that's just going to be next
Yes.
level when we can do that.
I know, it's so funny. I'm always showing like my nieces who are like 7 and 9, and they're always like, "Wait a
Oh,
minute, like this is like Roblox, isn't it?" And they're all like wearable creators. They all put on events. They all do all this kind of stuff. So I'm always like planting
your
those little
7 and
seeds.
9-year-old nieces are
Yeah.
wearable creators and putting on events. Oh my god,
Yes. They've been doing this thing since
they're
they were
coming for
5.
us.
Oh
They're
yeah.
coming for us.
They're gonna come and be like, "I got this," They're coming here like, "What's so different?" It's like, "I've been doing this stuff forever," Like, it's so
That's
cool.
awesome. I love to hear that. That's really great. I mean, creators from that early on. But I mean, we did it when we were kids too, right? We would make like little pictures and little paper dolls, but I guess these kids have access to an actual
I
marketplace
know.
and an economy where they can wow, they're like little tiny capitalists.
Totally. I love that.
I love it.
One of the things I love about like, what you're doing as well is like, creating like events that are like multicultural, giving more women
Mm.
access. Like, what is that process like for you in terms of like reaching out to these communities? There's a lot of, I mean, I'm sure now that a lot of people know who you are, do you get a lot, are you bombarded with people reaching out to you and wanting that collaboration, or do you do a lot of outreach still yourself?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm bombarded. I think our community is still intimate enough that these conversations just happen really naturally and organically. Carnival was a great experience, which I did a couple of months ago with DCL Brazil, who's always been a really great supporter of ours. And I really love the idea of bringing in cultural events like Carnival. We did Latin Festival last year. I think that the Asian community does a lot of really great events. I would love for us to do some collaboration with the Asian community here. We've had a Japanese party here recently where it was the time zones were a bit crazy, so I just kind of turned everything on, but I was sleeping. But Kenji and his crew came in and kind of did the party here, which is great. I would, more opportunities for that. If you guys want to have a party here, I will definitely try and set it up so you can have something at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. The time zones is crazy, right?
I know. It's like there's so much I want to do, and it's like, oh, I missed that one. I had to stay up till 3, and then usually I have to get up early. I have a kid, so he goes to school, so I'm up at like 5. So it's like,
what time zone are you?
In Colorado, so Mountain Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so bad, but it's kind of a nice midpoint between a lot of things. But like you were saying, there's so many events from different communities all over, and you're just like, I mean, you can, like you're saying, I can record it, or usually like when it's cool and the people have recorded it, at least you can catch a glimpse, and that's definitely always awesome. But there's so many things happening that are like that'll be forever lost, right? Because if it's not recorded, then it's like, oh, I missed it.
Yeah, exactly. And Dollhouse too. I mean, we're guilty of it as well. I'm on PST, so I've always, selfishly done times that work for me, and not really realizing that that's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning for Germany or some of our other friends. So we definitely want to focus on doing some earlier activations and earlier parties this year.
Yeah. And what were like some of your like favorite moments during Metaverse Fashion Week this past?
Metaverse Fashion Week. Oh, I love the closing party, the DKNY closing party. I thought was really, really awesome. I'll talk a little bit about that. They had actually reached out to me. I think from the foundation gave them my contact, and what they wanted to do was get an artist to do the DKNY sign on the side of their building. They really wanted to work with a community artist, which I thought was a really cool thing to do, because that's always something I'm, pushing, right? Work with the community. So I thought that was great that they were already thinking about that. And then through further conversations, we discovered they had an art gallery. They were looking at ways to fill the art gallery. So they reached out to the community and asked 10 or 11 of us to also make kind of small DKNY Web3 versions of the DKNY logo. And they had a whole art gallery there that was like that. I thought that was great. Other people that did stuff like that, I mean, I think Dolce & Gabbana and Dress X and Tommy Hilfiger had those mid-journey competitions. I really loved the collaboration that they were doing with people in the community. I thought that was great. One night, really late at night, I was running into the Cash Labs building.
Oh, nice.
To take a picture, and it was just me, and I went slammed right into another person, and it was David Cash. And we like jumped back and stood at each other, and then he like waved at me, and I was like, oh my God, I need a picture, because I just really admire what he does in the space and what he does for Metaverse Fashion Week. I think he's just like a huge personality, and so that was fun for me. I had like my little fangirl moment.
Oh, awesome.
that
like
nobody saw. To be totally honest, I was too nervous to even take the selfie. I pretended I took a selfie and ran away. I didn't even get the selfie.
It's like the story of my life in Decentraland, like eternal fangirl dork. And I'm like, you're so cool, teach me. Like everyone here is like, I mean, for a long time, I think for about 10 months, I was a Decentraland reporter. And it was fun because I got to like be like, hey, can I interview you? Because I got to learn so much from all the creators, and so much has changed over the last 2.5 years. Like all the wearables, for one, obviously are like, it's so fun to look at old videos, and I'm just like in these dorky clothes, like walking around, like, dude. And I was like, I thought I was so cool because I had one wearable, like, and to see how like to me, like, it's just been fascinating to see how that community has flourished of creators and builders and worlds, and everything that's been happening is just like, I just appreciate it so much.
Okay, well, I want to ask you, what was your first wearable?
Oh my God. Oh, wait, I don't even oh my God, I gotta go check it out. I don't even remember which one it was. Let me see. I'm gonna look now. Now I feel guilty not knowing this. I have like my
I would love
favorite
to
ones,
know what
but
everybody's first
I
wearable was.
know.
I'd love to know what everyone's first wearable. I think like that would make like a really cool
Oh my
Twitter thread
God.
is just
Yes.
for everyone to post your first wearable and your earliest picture. I mean, I was dorky. I used to sport a mohawk.
Oh, I love.
I
Oh, I
was
had
really
those for a while. Yep, I remember the mohawk was like
totally
cool.
different.
I
Yeah.
had them. Yeah, of course, all of us have the Atari sweaters. You know, you're like, there's like a bunch of when it was like the one cool thing that happened, and like, I need now. I'm like totally after this. I'm gonna look and find out. And it's so funny because I've made like wearables for. I was part of different grants, and then I made one myself, and it's such a dorky, simple one that it's just like. It was when I was like, it's a shirt and just like nothing really changed. But now, like, I don't even like to show people because it's so
Well,
dorky.
it's come a long way in the last year. The
I
first
know.
wearables we did too, I think I did like a head that's like a television head with a swirl on it.
See,
And
that
I mean,
sounds
I
cool
still love
though.
it. It's always going to have like a soft spot in it. It was cool. But I mean, you see now such a, like Doki's faces
I
and
know.
hair is
Those
going
are
everywhere. And Murph Jestick's next to me in a mink jacket. And I mean, there's just so many gorgeous outfits. I can't even say. I mean, look at Seafoam back there. That's
I
insane
know.
what he's got. That flower crown. Oh, I want it so much.
There's so much. I know that's
Really have
part
to
of the
get it.
fun now that you can like easily click on somebody and check out everything they wear, and you're just like, oh my god, I have to buy that, and you're like, oh my god, yeah, it's dangerous.
Yes.
It's dangerous coming, but yeah, I was hoping.
Another thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say another thing that I loved about Fashion Week too, and I just see Honig and Blease in the suits here, was a collab that I did with Decentraland Games, and
Cool.
we did like a couple of outfits, Future Blossom and Future Pink they were called. And what I loved about these wearables was that there's shine on it. So there's some utility that allows you to go and play token gated poker games inside the casinos.
See,
So this is, a gamification of wearables, the gamification of fashion.
yes, for sure. I love that aspect of it.
And then taking it to another level that it's not just like, oh, you need a t-shirt to get in, but like actually leaning into the fact that it's cool, fashionate stuff that you might want to wear all the time anyway. Yeah. And then plus there's shine on it. So I like that. I also talked about in Baby Doll in the Decentraland Twitter space yesterday, something else I'm loving seeing, which is stuff like the Doki Pass, where you buy an NFT and then you get so many perks. Do you have a Doki Pass?
I've been like, I tried to buy it a couple times for some reason, it wasn't letting me, but I've been like, it's been on my like must buy list for like a couple weeks.
It's a must buy.
I know.
And then I think I've read something today too with Dr. Drip that he has, if you own 3, then you get other things dropped to you. I love these kind of little perks and little systems that people are doing with wearables.
I've got a bunch
just
of
takes
Dr.
it to the
Drip.
next level.
I've got a couple wallets. I love Dr. Drip stuff because in real life I love hoodies, and like he always makes such stuff that I'm like, I would totally wear. Like it's just like.
Well, I just bought his I just bought his hoodie, and it just got delivered like last week. I've been living in it.
One. See, I love this one right here. Look at this one. Oh wait, let me see. We clicked on. It's just such a comfy thing that. Basically, it's the kind of thing that I would love to wear.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
It's just so comfy,
that's a nice one. The white version of that is so nice too.
Oh, I need to look. See, your danger.
I know. He made a bucket hat that goes with that, with Doki hair on the bucket hat. That hair is Doki hair, and if it's Doki hair, you got to buy it. So I love that.
I'm gonna after this.
I never.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I never wear hats, and I bought that hat. No, we can talk about shopping all day long.
You go in there, it's a dangerous land. It's funny because this is kind of like not my burner wallet, but semi-burner, and my other one has like my fancy wearables. I keep them on my ledger safely, because I'm just like, I don't want them ever to get taken. I'm like, all my cool ones I put there, and then this one, I'm like, but I have to keep some cool stuff to wear. So then it's always like,
you do.
I need to buy a couple of them. So one is safe, and one I like, you can gamble with.
Hardcore investor here. Hardcore investor. I cannot take anything out of my backpack. I'm like a hoarder. I would be a hoarder if you could hoard things inside Decentraland. Thank God you can't. My backpack is so slow.
I know. I can imagine. I know this one is like, I have like, I guess 3 places. I know it's so many. I have too many places with wearables. I wanted to see, did you check out like another event that I went to in Fashion Week that was so much fun is the Vuelta Bays event was so cool. Did you check hers?
Oh yeah, it was so nice. Really, really good. We had a private tour of that a couple of weeks before Metaverse Fashion Week. which was nice. We did a stream that kind of highlighted some of the community events with Decentral Games, and hers was one of them. You know, she is so thoughtful.
Yes.
They are so
Yes.
thoughtful at everything they do. I remember when I first contacted them and was like, oh, you should, do a community event. She's like, I'll have to think of something. And then the next day she comes up with like this amazing event that was, touched your heart, beautiful to the eyes. It's like, man. So yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I've just loved all the projects she's done. They're beautiful stuff. This is so cool.
And the
I don't
whole
know
Vivienne Westwood thing was so cool. I mean, her story behind her, which I knew who she was, but I didn't really know who she was.
I know.
And I think that that's a successful activation when we all came out of there, knowing more about Vivienne Westwood. And I think she would have loved the metaverse, right? After you learn about her, she would have loved this with the anti-fashion and the spirit of collaboration.
It's like her build is like, I always speak, for many years I was a STEM educator. It's almost like you're eating your your cupcake with a little like hidden, she had the hidden broccoli in there. You're learning and enjoying yourself, right? You're just like, as a mom, you're like, how do I feed my kid good shit? Like you get sneaky. And her space is a beautiful example of like the mastery of that on a level that you don't see the broccoli, but it's all broccoli, it's like we all learned something. And yeah, I went back to that space a bunch just to like, and I love how like it's funny when they were doing like the fashion shows in there and you could hear, the background sounds of the protests. It was so cool to have that ambience.
Very cool. And Bay's lovely voice describing each item of clothing.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, that was a great activation. The Cristobal Balenciaga one was pretty cool too. All of those pieces that they made were actually from vintage sketches that they recently discovered and had never been made into clothes before. So I thought it was pretty cool that like these probably not 100, maybe like 80-year-old sketches, which I got to see, were then just turned to Metaverse wearables. I thought that really was the epitome of the theme of the Fashion Week as well for Metaverse Fashion Week.
Wow. Yeah, you need to do, I'm sure like I know you have updates, but you need to do like a video blog post of all your experiences. I think it's great when like, different members stream and Twitch, but it's just like there's so many like all these beautiful stories that like we were saying like disappear, and it's like in 10 years it's going to be so crazy and different in here, and like or whatever happens in the crazy metaverse space, like yeah, these are little magical moments we're in. And
exactly, little magical moments, and they can be ephemeral. Is that the word? They can be ephemeral. They're very they don't last very long, so we should try and record them for
I know, and it's sometimes not recording is beautiful too. I'm always in that like.
Oh, that's very zen. Yeah, that's a very zen thing to say.
I have that dilemma a lot because I'm always like outside mountain biking, running around. Sometimes I'm like, look at that beautiful cloud, and I'm like, I want to take a picture, but sometimes I'm like, no, you know what? It doesn't want a picture. It wants me just to like be here in the moment, looking at its beauty.
Oh,
like
that's a sign of maturity. That's good. I admire that. I am not there yet. I take pictures of everything all day long, all the time.
No, I do. I take a lot of pictures too. I'm totally not that zen. I'm just like, but sometimes those moments you're just like, you're in this like flow state, right? In creativity, you have these flow states that a lot of us like appreciate and so love. And sometimes you just have to let it be what it is instead of like our human brain likes to categorize and put in these little, whatever. But
oh, beautiful. I like that flow state.
If anybody here who's is here in the audience has any questions, feel free. I know Odd Job always has great questions and AMAs. If you have anything you want to ask or share, go ahead and unmute yourself. Usually people get shy sometimes. Or they like to listen. It's just fun to like, it's so funny how a lot of times like I'm working and then like there'll be an event and I'll just like show it there, and it's like, and it feels like you have this community just hanging out with you, because a lot of times we work alone, but sometimes it's nice to have these like, oh, I'm here dancing and here I'm working, I don't know if you ever do that, but I do that.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Oh, go for it.
Who's this?
Odd Job, woo!
Hi, Odd Job.
Hey, hi. So tomorrow is the Absolute Land activation, right? It's the beginning of that. What can you give us, maybe not alpha, but can you give us like a teaser of what's going to happen tomorrow? Because I know I'm looking forward to it. It was probably my favorite activation from the whole previous year. So what yeah, what can we expect at Absolute Land starting
It's going to be the same great vibes as we had last year. The building is similar, but also different. We have a very interesting game that everybody can play at the same time, which is something that we didn't have last year. Well, there'll be a leaderboard and exclusive prizes for the people who get to the top of that leaderboard. And other than that, it's just going to be, you know, that same great party that we had last year. That's all I'm going to tell you.
You're good. You told us a lot, but not much. I love it.
Okay, I guess that'll have to do. I guess I'll have to go and find out.
I'm really excited that they're coming back. I wasn't sure. I think it was kind of like we didn't know whether they were going to do it or not for the last. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. You know, it was very touch and go whether they were going to come back or not. So I'm really glad they decided, yes, let's do this. And Parcel Party, and Dollhouse, who have been working with them on the build, did a really good job, really, really fast. We've got Grizzle Gatsby on that again, and Dogman, as well as a couple of coders from Dollhouse. They did a really fantastic job so far. So I hope you're going to like it. I particularly like, there's some opportunities for selfies that I think are really cute. And again, that's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah, I'm excited. It's 3 days, guys. So nice. Cancel all your plans. Cancel all your plans. Get a bottle of Absolute vodka and let's do it.
See, I had a bad experience when I was 15 with vodka. That's all. That kind of. That's all I have to say.
Shh, be quiet. Be quiet. There are no bad experiences with vodka. Shh, they could be listening.
Dumb 15-year-old. Yes.
It really is my drink of choice, so that's good.
Oh, cool. No, I'm very much looking forward to it. Oh, go ahead, Odd Job. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. No, I know that Bodega on a blockchain with activation created by Last Slice, that is something that was up for a Webby Award, and I know that Absolute Land is also up for a Webby Award. So actually the question is to everybody here listening, have you gone and voted for your favorite Decentraland activations for Webby Awards?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to. Yeah, we'll try and paste that link if you can, AJ. I think it's a great way for us to just get some exposure, again, to the outside world. There's always a lot of talk about Roblox. There's always a lot of talk about Fortnite, and those are great, great metaverses. But DCL, we got a lot going on too. So if we can vote and post pictures as much as we can out there, that's the way to go.
Peanut Butter just said he thought the vote ended already. Did it end?
Good. Oh. Did it end? What? Oh, well.
Well, if you can always post it in general in our general chat and Discord, because I remember seeing that and I meant to go vote, but it's always like in the middle of a meeting and I'm like, oh, I need to do that, and so I can't run away and not really pay attention. So I have to, but I remember seeing that to vote. I don't know if you have the link, Odd Job, please post it. It'd be awesome. But this has been amazing. Thank you so much, Tangpoko. Always great to hear your stories and your events, and I'm looking forward to. So tomorrow, what time does it actually start? The activation?
It starts at noon PST and goes till almost midnight. So nice. I want to see you there. It's going to be good.
So you said 3 days.
Thank you so much for. Yes, 3 days, and then the following weekend, 3 days as well.
Oh wow, cool.
So it's 2 weekends. It runs the span of Coachella.
The voting is open until Thursday, April 20th.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, we've got time. I mean, I wish that we could.
Oh, yeah. I'm just trying for the Absolute and other Snapple. DCL activation votes. So whatever. I can just put the basic link up here, and then people can find it. But yeah, it's open till the 20th.
Awesome. Thank you so much, AJ. And thank you for inviting me today and for making it so easy and so conversational. I am always deathly nervous every time I have to speak publicly.
You're such a natural. That's why I was like, she's going to be great. You never know when you invite somebody how they're going to be. Sometimes it's like crickets. You're like, okay, that's why I usually have a bunch of questions just in case. But you're like, I knew with you from my past experience of what I've seen. I'm like, Yeah, you're definitely like so natural at this, and I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're super busy, but it's wonderful to see. And please keep us posted on any events upcoming so we can share on the Decentraland DAO YouTube and Twitter and
Yes, I
however
will.
else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Guys, stick around a few more hours. We're going to have a chill out sesh with Gucci. I'm trying to get everybody to get their they're sitting down and lying down and relaxing emotes. Maybe we can go upstairs and just like kind of lay down and listen to some music. I think that'll be fun tonight.
Ooh.
I need the break.
Nice. So that's in a couple hours here. Is it an event or just like you're just cool? Okay.
It is an event. It is in fact an event.
Cool. I will post that here and I will keep this open and hang out later. Awesome. Well, yay. Thanks everyone who stuck around, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll have all this up probably in the next day or two, the town hall and the in-world meetup portion on our YouTube. And yeah, feel free to always reach out with any ideas, comments, or ways we can do some more cool events. And yeah. Guess that's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you. Bye. Bye, Acha. Bye, Tangpoko. Bye, Peanut Butter and Meta Trickers and Ingester. And
See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.